Hi guys, it's me Jackson and welcome back to another Science with Jackson video. So today I have the noble gases and these three other gases for the end. So now you might have also noticed it's a little dim in here. It's like that on purpose because I am going to light the gases up. So yeah, the noble gases are here and then these three other gases. So I will get into the noble gases first. Okay, so these are the gases. We have helium, neon, argon, krypton, and xenon. Now here's a little fact about each one. So helium is actually the second most abundant element in the universe, making up about a quarter of all the atoms that exist in the entire universe. I don't mean Earth is just a tiny. Think of Earth as an atom inside of such a big number, maybe a Googleplex amount of, which is like the biggest number ever, like all a big giant thing. Earth is like nothing. So maybe on Earth, actually helium's rare on Earth, but in the real world, but in the universe, it's very common. Then we have neon. You might have seen those neon signs, and they're orange, but neon, if you've noticed, is a colorless gas. So it's just clear and you can see, but it's no color. It's colorless, like the air. You can't see the air. It's there. If you move your hand really fast, you feel it. That's the air, but you can't see it. So yeah, neon, when it lights up, is about an orangey kind of glow, and I'll show you how you light them up in a second, and I will. And then we have argon. Argon's actually the third most abundant element on Earth. I'm not saying the universe, but I'm saying Earth, this planet. So since argon's the most abundant element, it's the third most abundant, so it makes up about 1% of the gases in our air. Like this is natural air, and 1% of it, about, to be exact, 0.93%, is argon. Then we have krypton. Krypton is the rarest gas on the periodic table. And I have krypton here too. So it's the rarest gas of all, and it's very, very small number present in the air here. And then we have xenon. It's known as the brightest gas when it lights up, but technically when it won't be the brightest when I light it up, and it has to do with the size of the ampule. And now let's get into the fun part, lighting up the gases. Okay, now it's time for our fun project, lighting up the gases. So the gas isn't inside the bottle, obviously, because the cap is off. The helium and the neon would actually float up and away, but the argon, krypton, and xenon, as you might know, they're actually pretty heavy. They're heavier gases, and they will stay to the ground, especially krypton and xenon. Argon, I would say, is pretty average. It could maybe, but krypton and xenon, oh, they're not going anywhere. So yeah, but how am I going to light them up? Well, have you heard of a Tesla coil? This right here is a Tesla coil. As you can see, that orange copper wire just spun around into a Tesla coil. That's how it's made. And then if you see right there, there's a little copper wire that sticks out, and that's where it happens. And then inside there, that's just a little hole. But how would I power that much? This, my friends, is the battery pack. It contains 8 batteries to make it because it's high voltage. But I've done this before, and I know what to do. I know the drill. So I have the safety precautions, so I know what to do. So I'm going to be very careful with this because it creates electricity, maybe a couple volts of electricity, and you do not want to touch something that electric. So first you want to push that in, and then there's a little blue button, if you've noticed right there. That blue button, that's what's going to turn it on. Okay, so here's the Tesla coil, and here are my gases. So let's get started lighting them up. This right here is helium. You might have heard it. It's in balloons. It's actually pretty light if you feel it compared to xenon, which I will get to later. Xenon actually feels very heavy. Like this xenon gas actually feels like it's heavy. Feels like a heavy gas, and that's because it is. And the further down this way you go, the deeper your voice will get. It gets high from neon and helium and neon, but argon, krypton, and xenon makes your voice a little bit lower than usual. So let's get started lighting up. And this is not breathing in the noble gases, and it's actually quite a risk to breathe in all the noble gases, especially at once. I have breathed in helium before, but I survived. And I once breathed in an entire balloon of it. That was not a smart decision. I breathed in way too much. My voice did get high, which was funny, but then it kind of but then afterwards I got a headache and it hurt a little bit. But now, here's the helium, but if it gets too close to a Tesla coil, whoa, the gas has lit up. Whoa, isn't that the coolest thing you've seen? Okay, next up we're gonna be lighting up neon. Oh, I don't mean my cat, my little kitty right here. Yes, I named him after this neon. It's a gas inside this. This is the neon I was talking about. Now let's light it up. Oh. So to me, it looks like orange is around the side and white's in the middle. So technically with the helium, it should have been a pink, but it's because of the ampule size. It's because what the ampule is. Since it's so skinny, it kind of looks a little different. And the pressures of the ampule, because it's low pressure inside of this. That's another reason. There's low pressure inside of this. And it's good. High pressure, it could be explosive and dangerous. So yeah, if you can see that, it's white in the middle, but the closer you get it, the more electricity will make it go away. It also has to do with the amount of electricity. But yeah, technically, the color of the noble gas looks different. So yeah, each gas looks completely different. Now the next gas we have is argon. Now I wish I could tell you a joke about this, but all the good jokes are gone. Yeah, it's a classic. It's a fun little sciencey joke. Now, when this argon gets so close to the Tesla coil, it lights up. I would say this kind of looks like the helium, but it's a little more milky in it. So yeah. Oh, how you might have also noticed the blue light kind of goes out. I'm not sure why that's happening, but it probably has to do with the amount of electricity. And the ampule actually feels a little hot, a little warm, which is pretty weird. Next up, we have krypton. Be careful with this. The rarest gas. Krypton. Wasn't the cheapest, but it is the rarest. Ooh. This is what my mom says her favorite gas looks like lit up. Krypton. It kind of looks like a bluish white, kind of like osmium. I'll show that in another video. But yeah, this is krypton. Oh, and one other fact: Krypton is not from the planet Krypton. Krypton and the planet Krypton have nothing in common. It was just called Krypton. It's just so it has nothing to do with the planet Krypton and Superman. So this is just ignore. I bet some of you were thinking of Krypton, the planet, the home planet of Superman. But yeah, this has nothing to do with Krypton, the planet. And finally, we have xenon. And I said that because if you were to breathe this in, it would make your voice that deep. Xenon. But it would also make you lose your breath because it's a little bit, because it's really heavy. Now, when it gets too close to the Tesla coil, it looks like a yellowy green, kind of like chlorine. And yeah, this is xenon. Yeah, that's xenon, and that is all the noble gases lit up. Next, I will be showing you these 3 other gases: hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen, lit up by a Tesla coil. Okay, so here are 3 other gases. I have hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. Now here's a fact about each of them. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, making up about 3/4 of all atoms, or 73% to be exact. The helium was 25. So yeah, hydrogen, and also it's very flammable, and once it gets to fire, it will explode. So we don't want that to happen. And don't worry, this is such a small amount. Even if it did make an explosion, it'd probably fit the size of the bottle. Then we have nitrogen. Nitrogen is the most deadliest gas. If you breathe it in 1 or 2 whiffs, night night. Then we have oxygen. And yeah, it's the hero. Without this, you still would die, but you need this to breathe. But if this broke open, like, what would happen is, even if you breathed it in, it wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, it would be like extra oxygen. Even if you breathed it in, there would be still extra oxygen, because you don't need all this pure oxygen. You don't need all that oxygen, because you just don't need it all. The human body only uses a little bit of oxygen, so you wouldn't need pure oxygen. So yeah, so the extra oxygen would just go away. So yeah, now it's time to light them up. This is hydrogen, the most abundant element. It was probably made in the Big Bang. I'm not kidding. You know the Big Bang, the beginning, it's like chapter 1, the beginning of everything. So yeah, when it gets close to a Tesla coil, ooh, it looks like a faint purple glow. If you see that, it's like a purplish glow. Whoa, that's hydrogen. Next up, we have nitrogen. Now, sadly, I have some bad news. This can't light up. It's because, well, this isn't a strong enough Tesla coil. Nitrogen, I think, lights up at higher voltages, and we wouldn't want higher voltages because that would be a little bit dangerous. So this can't light up, but we also have oxygen. This one happily will light up. This one's probably interesting because it's blue in the middle and purple on the sides. The purple you see on the side, that's its true color. That purple you see, I think it's true color, or it might be the blue. I think it's the purple. But yeah, this is oxygen. It's like a blue I would say like a blue and purple glow, because we do remember the nitrogen. Yeah, it does have that purpley glow in it. So yeah, it wasn't that blue that made that purple glow in the Tesla coil. It was the actual gas itself making that purple glow. And yes, so time for the conclusion. Okay, so here is our conclusion. So here are the 5 noble gases, and here are the 3 other gases. You can give them applause too, because they were good too. So I got them from the PE guys, and I have the link in the description and info in the description of the video. So make sure to check that out. And I hope you enjoyed watching all these gases, sadly not nitrogen, but all these gases being lit up, and I hope you enjoyed. And now, before you go, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you will never miss a video. Because that would be sad if you miss a video. It could be just another great video, but then you miss it. That's a shame. But you won't if you subscribe. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye!